Dolly friends. I am so very happy to be here with you all today. I wasn't able to upload the video I had planned for today, which was a haul of doll parts, but I'm going to show you something else I did instead. I found this cool walnut today while I was walking, and I liked the shape of it, the way it was broken across the bottom there. And I wanted to make a Victorian style bed. I found only a few images online, and they're made with two pieces. So I'm gonna just see what I can do. I don't really have a plan. I just know I want to do it and thought I could get a video out of this instead. So here's my little Charlotte. She is 1 inch and the walnut itself is about 1.5 inches. So let's see what I can do. I'm trying to find some lace that I want to kind of put around it. I'm just playing. I don't really kind of know what I want to do. I know I want to put some lace on it. Also, I decided, unlike me, I decided I wanted to dress Charlotte, so we'll see how I can manage that. Would love to put some silk inside, but I don't have any silk. I do have this piece of velvet, which we'll have to substitute. I have these button covers that I'd like to use for something. They're kind of cool and Victorian looking. But I don't know. I don't really like the way that looks. We'll see. I'd like to raise up the bed. So I forgot to turn my camera on, but I cleaned off the walnut and I'm painting it black inside just a little bit, just to give a little contrast there. I really like the color of the walnut itself on the outside and the way it's dark in the crevices, but I do want to, I want to fancy it up a bit. So I'm just putting some black paint on that area where it was broken there. And that's going to be the bottom half of the bed rather than like a canopy for the top. That's just how I want to do it. I like that bottom part there, so that way you can see the doll. Of course, if it's going to be Victorian, it's going to need a little bit of gilding. So I'm using some antique gold rub and buff, and that will have to suffice. I sure like the way it looks. Sorry, my lighting is so bad for this video. Just turn up your brightness on your computer. That's what I do. Yeah, and I did add, I forgot my camera on again, I added a little black rub and buff too to kind of age it a little bit so the gold wasn't so shiny. You can still see the walnut and I really like the way that looks. I think I am going to use this little button. I don't know yet. So I'm just going to glue in the little piece of velvet that I have. It'll be a miracle if I can get it straight because I am not patient and then I end up just like bunching it up and it becomes a big mess and takes me twice as long. Does that ever happen to you? I cannot believe I got it in there. And now I'm wishing I had put something underneath it to raise it up a little bit, but I didn't. That's going to have to suffice. I decided I had this little scrap here and I wanted to roll it up and make a little bolster pillow. I thought that might be cute in there to raise up Charlotte's head a bit. And I'm going to put these, I decided I'm going to just cut out these little circles and glue them to the end. And I am going to cut off the little loop parts there. But yeah, I like the way that looks. Now, Charlotte, how are we going to dress you? I decided against the lace and I'm using this silk grosgrain ribbon that I thrifted. It's really quite pretty. It's an off-white color. And I think this might have more coverage for her. I think that looks pretty cute, even though you'll barely see it on her. I just squeezed it and took some stitches there to keep it on her and I just cut it. I'm going to try to add a little bit of lace to it too to make it a little fancier. Yes, I have really too much here, but I'm going to make it work. I should have cut a smaller piece there to cinch up around her. I just tied a couple of knots there. That's the back that you see there where the seam is. And I think it'll be okay. I think she looks kind of cute. Maybe I'll add a little ribbon to it. I know you can barely see it there. That's the back. I'm just going to trim it up a little bit and glue the bolster in. Just wanted to make sure it was going to fit okay. And let's see how she looks in there. Oh, I think she looks rather cute. I'm adding the lace that I decided on to go around, and I want it going in so that it does create a little bit of a canopy-like atmosphere for her. Yeah, just like that. I think I'm just going to do it halfway and try something else across the bottom. I like that. Do you like that? I was kind of playing around thinking about adding more lace around the bottom, but I really just couldn't find a way to make that work, and I really liked this little piece. I'm going to put it on the bottom portion of the bed, just making a little seam here. And I am going to scoot it down. It's not going to come all the way up because I want that rough edge to show just a little bit, because that was one of the details I liked about this walnut. I toyed with the idea of putting some lace around the edge of the bed there, but ultimately I did not like that. So I just scrapped that idea. And I did add a piece of silk ribbon to her dress, and I really like the way that turned out. I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on the back there to keep that tied nice and tight. That's the back. And I think she looks pretty cute. So I decided to use this heavy wool trim. I don't know if this was the best idea, but I do like it around the button. And even though you can't see the button at all, maybe I'll change it out later. I think it turned out really cute. Now here she is. I think it looks cute. The glue is not dry on the bottom trim, and I'm really happy with it. Yeah, just out of half. I didn't need to use two, and I think it's pretty cute. But I don't know. I feel like it's not done. Well, it's very early the next morning, and that's why the lighting is so bad. Hang in there if you would. I decided she needed a canopy. I found these little embellishments that I had. They're gold metal, and they're very soft, thin metal, and I thought I could create something for the fabric to go through, so I just cut out part of them. That was a little bit too large to use it quite like that. I was able to cut them, and I kind of bent the sides in to create a little place for the fabric to go through. Something like that. I'm trying some different pieces that I had. I'm not really sure what I want to use. I kept going back and forth, but I definitely need to darken up this little piece here. So I just want to age it up a little bit with some rub and buff. I put some gloves on because I don't want to get it on my fingers, because I'm going to go right to working with that sheer fabric there. There you can see the difference. I'm just using a little Loctite glue to set it inside the shell. It took a little bit of finagling. It didn't want to stick down, and then once it caught, it was good to go. And it's easy to bend. I was trying to be very careful because it will break easily. I just cinched up this sheer fabric that I have. I may end up changing it, but I'm in it now, so here we go. I am going to use some glue and water mixture to get it to stay down a little bit better. This lovely trick is one of the first things I learned when I was getting into miniatures about a year ago from Gretchen, from Little Gretchen's Workshop, who you all know, of course. Yeah, so the hardest part of this was getting my plastic wrap to stay down. It really wasn't hitting too much on anything there anyway. So I was just trying to shape it a little bit. And I think in the long run, I'm going to like the way it turns out. I'm gonna set it in a window to dry while I go about my morning and see what happens. Finally, a little better light. Here is the back, and here is the front. There's a little pillow in there. I haven't put Charlotte back in there yet. Oh, there she is. I actually wanted to make a little ladder for her to have to go into the bed, but I haven't done that yet. So I probably will make a little toothpick ladder and paint it gold and set it on the side there. Thank you all so much for sticking with me despite the lighting. Finally, some good lighting. Please leave a comment and let me know what you've made out of walnut shells. And don't forget to come back and visit me next time in the doll cupboard.